Hey, Jesse,
Yes.
before we get off the phone, both of us have a website question that we need to get answered. So I just want to put that in the back of your head.
A website question? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, that's actually part of what we're doing today.
Good.
So maybe we'll be able to answer that.
All right.
Um, so did you two get that file, that image?
Yes.
Okay. So you got the lead generation model there. So what I'm first going to be focusing on is on number one, prospecting and marketing, and to the right, designs. Okay. So you should all see my screen there, and you'll notice that I am in the designs template. Okay. You guys see that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the last time we did this, I did a quick overview of what this first section is, and ultimately what this is this is your warehouse of all of the templates that you've used in the past, whether it's an email template that you created, a landing page that you created, anything for social media, things to print out, flyers, and so forth, and also web pages for your website. They're here. So, and there's also videos which you can create specifically for a neighborhood or manipulate the data to make it fit for a city or zip code, things like that. Okay. So with the website, you're going to find most of that within the consumer template here. And you'll also notice that the consumer side on that lead generation model is still part of the prospecting and marketing section. So rather than going into designs outright, let's go ahead and go to consumer, since that's where your questions are based. And it seems like we can get a lot more done here, more beneficial for you there.
Yeah.
Okay. So on the consumer tab, think of the consumer tab of everything that's consumer facing, right? So that's your website, that's landing pages, that's your app, things like that. And that's where everything's going to be housed. What you see right now on my screen is actually a list of all the landing pages that I've created over the time. I have 30 that I've created and deleted over the last 2 years. And everything that's in green here, this little toggle button indicates that it is active. That if I had posted it before and someone clicks on it from a year ago or since December, they click on that link, it'll still take them to where they think they're going, right? So that's what this here is for. You can edit. You can click on edit for these things. You can change the URL to make it specific to what you're doing. As you notice right here for this little Ignite example, it's a random URL. It really doesn't mean anything to anybody. The way it's broken down here is pages.kw.com, and then it'll have your name, and then it'll have your KWUID right there, and then whatever it is. You can change that as if you hit on this change URL option. That's what I had done, and that's how I got the ending to make sense to what I'm doing. So this is a landing page specific to a property that was for sale. Okay. So it takes information from the MLS, from the smarter agent system that KW has acquired to give us this information, right? And I can go over this a little bit later, but for now, let's just do a quick overview of this consumer tab.
Can I ask a real quick question?
Sure.
So I set up, just because I just wanted to try to dive in, I set up a testimonial page, okay, which is pretty fairly easy to do.
Yep.
But then I noticed I made an error, a spelling error. So I went back in to edit that error, and it made me redo all the verbiage. It didn't let me edit the one word.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
You know, and some of the feedback I'm getting here at our market center is some people have the belief that they have to just redo the whole page again because it's unedible.
To redo the whole,
like the whole landing page again.
Oh, that's interesting. No, you don't. It's housed in different areas.
Okay.
So I'm going to open a new tab here. So I went back to designs, and here's my landing page,
Okay.
right? So, and that's why I usually change the name of the design. So I can come in here, click on that specific landing page, and it will take me to the editor, which is exactly the way it looked when I built it.
Right.
Right. And then I just go, so anything that you need to change should be within the configure widget section. And then say, for example, I want to change open house and Vail. I want that to say something else. Or just sold in Vail, for example. This is where I would do it.
Okay. Because I was trying to do it from that previous page where the individual links were. I was trying to hit edit there, and then I didn't have any success.
Yeah, it does take us to the same place.
Okay.
It does take us to the same place. It's just if you're going to change anything on a widget level,
Yep.
It would have to be done through the configure widget section and then specifically that widget. You'll notice that it's identical. I'm clicking between the two tabs that I had open there.
So can we change the S to B just for a second to see if it holds? Because that's where I was having a problem. Yeah. All right. You're awesome.
You got it. Thanks. Yeah, so you can do all your editing here. So it is on a widget basis for your editing. Some things do allow some changes.
Okay.
Within the widget. For example, there isn't a lot here in terms of language regarding the listing, right? But if I wanted to make an alteration, there's like a little weird, funky way to fix it. You'll notice here that the information changed. See how it no longer says the 429 that it shows over here. Now it says 1,000,003. And you can remove things. And all I did was just click and hit delete real quick. You can remove some text, not on the widget level. See how it's a little weird? But we're trying to make this a little bit easier to understand, easier to grasp, easier to use. Because some of the functionality is a little abstract at the moment. I'm not going to save that, but it's there. Okay, so back to the consumer side of things. Now for the website, has anybody tried using their app, really? Their KW app?
I'm not.
Okay.
No.
Okay, so what we would need to do first is make sure that we have some information input into the system. Okay, I'm going to go over here to the settings section. So I'm clicking by my name and the drop down, and I'm going to select settings. Okay. Has anybody been to this section yet?
Yes.
Okay. So under the connect settings, we'll find the marketing profile. Okay. So the marketing profile allows us to add logos and our pictures and any information that we want displayed outwardly for our marketing purposes. Okay. So basic information, name, license number, team name, so on and so forth will be found here. Now, if you set up everything here, you're setting up your branding for your website, for your app, for your landing pages and such. Okay.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
My About Me isn't transferring to my website.
Yeah. So there are a couple things that need to be done. One is making sure that this button here is toggled in the on position. Use this
Okay.
information.
Okay, it is.
Okay, good. The next part is what I'm going to get into to begin the process of creating your website.
Okay.
So I'm going to open this in a new tab because I will refer back to my marketing page here, back and forth. So there is within the consumer applet, this portion here that says site and app settings. Okay.
Okay.
We click there and most everybody kind of wants to just jump right in and just edit the information that they see right here. That's okay. However, this isn't where the website starts. This is what you manipulate after you've started it. Okay. the very first thing that you should be looking at is right here with the Learn More with Kelly guide.
Okay.
You click on that. Now it's giving you different options here. We're going to click on Agent Site. Click on Agent Site and then hit Continue. Yep, I understand. I didn't make any changes, so we're good. So this begins everything. So we're going to, as it shows here, we're going to choose our subdomain. The subdomain really is just, here, I'll show you here. It's just this portion of the URL, right? So mine has Jesse-Rojas right before kw.com. That's all that my subdomain has. So yours can be similar, yours can be a little bit different. But that's where you'll choose it. And then you'll choose your theme and styling. Now, there's not a whole lot going on with that section. For right now, it does give you a couple options in terms of colors, but that's not what we need to be focusing on at this point.
Okay.
And it really doesn't do a whole lot. The page creation portion allows you to create custom pages, like this one, for example, that I had integrated with Title Security's NetSheet. So clients can go in and start fiddling around with what their net would be if they sold their home and such, calculate their potential mortgage payment, things like that. You can do this, and that is for another class that we'll have a little bit later.
Okay.
But for now, let's go ahead and click on Get Started. Sound good?
Mhm.
All right. So it brings up this little window here to make sure that you have everything you need. The inclusion, got to have a Market Center DBA logo, which is this one right here. If you don't have it, don't worry. There is a section on onekwsa.com under resources, and KWSA logos is the option. Okay. Now, if you're looking for something with a transparent background, I would focus mostly on the PNG type files. It does also say no background, but if you like to be a little bit more technical, like I do, looking for the file type actually tells me what I'm looking for. There is another way to find it, and I like to be as comprehensive as possible, and please slow me down if I'm going a little too fast for you. But in our mykw.kw.com site, we do have options for other types of logos. Under the marketing section, right up top, and we'll find it in logos and branding. And if you scroll down, you'll start seeing a whole bunch of other logos that are made available for us that are just basic Keller Williams, like the one that's right here on my jacket here. All of these are able to use, however, they're not the official logo for our Market Center. You can't put them on some promotional things and other things like that. What you could do here is also type in your Market Center. So if you're assigned to 861 or 495, either will give you the same result. You type in that number and hit download, and then you'll get a zip folder of all the logos similar to what you find here. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I like what we have here on our little website because we can download all the files at once. It's the same as it's essentially the same as just downloading the zip folder from our internet. Okay, back to the Kelly Guide. We want to make sure we include the ownership statement, which just says each Keller Williams office is independently owned and operated. Okay, that's the ownership statement. And then, of course, being in compliance with everything else with our local board and the commission and the Arizona Department of Real Estate kind of thing. Okay, this little link right here will take you essentially here to this Market Center logos area. So you got multiple ways of getting to the same place. Whatever you remember is the way it'll work. Okay, we're going to go ahead now and click on Acknowledge and Continue. All right, so here's step one, choosing your subdomain and configure the profile. So as I mentioned before, the subdomain is just what appears before the .kw.com. Like on my site, there's my name, and you'll see it here as well. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, the marketing profile information, this was from the settings portion, right? So all of this here in the marketing portion shows up here as well. The cool thing is you enter it once and that's it. That's all you need.
So if I save and continue, then it'll actually transfer now, my biography.
It should. It
Okay.
should.
Should I do
But
it?
let's complete the whole thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you have it, if your marketing profile here is complete and you have your bio in there, then continuing on with this Kelly guide should enable it for you. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So now we're going to hit save and continue. Oh, I've already done it. It's being a little redundant right now, but yeah, I confirmed it.
Wait, mine's saying the same thing. So where do you confirm it again?
Right up top where it says your subdomain, click confirm. And now mine is saved.
Oh, okay. No, mine won't let me click it.
If it has the little, yeah, just like mine did. See the little,
Wait, I didn't see yours. Let me go back to you. Did it have the little circle with the line through it?
yep, little circle with a line through it. Just click it anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. And then go back down and hit save and continue. And
Oh,
then
cool.
it takes you on.
Okay.
Okay. So then you'll start seeing things like, oh, look, there's my team logo. So there we just keep going. Here's that styling that I talked about. Really, it makes no difference between that. All it does is change that. However, being that we're uploading our own Market Center logo, it doesn't matter. It kind of negates it. So pick one, leave it. Either one will work. It'll do the same thing.
Jesse,
Yes.
my wife and I are a team, and so really we only need one website. So what so far what we've done is we've each are in command under two different names. How do we bring all that together and build a site for our team? Do I just pick one command to operate out of as far as for our team?
Pretty much when it comes to marketing, yeah.
Okay.
Just choose the one. So who is it, and it'll depend on who's marked as the Rainmaker.
Tracy's the Rainmaker.
Okay. So then it would be under hers that the marketing should come from.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I gave that to her for Christmas, letting her be the Rainmaker.
yeah, so so everything that's done for so then that would show up, that would mean that you show up as a team agent, right?
Yeah.
So what's cool is even if you did anything from yours with the way the team is configured, it'll still end up in the team database. Coming down the pipe with the team settings, there is going to be a way to turn off individual databases, and it'll just be one database for the team. So that's still being worked on. Should be available soon.
So just pick one of us. It's going to be her because I've already started working on her, and then just
just continue doing that, and you can change the subdomain. Like if she wants to just market it as your team or as a team, you can change the subdomain to say the team name.
Which we have. Okay.
Or the other option is if you own your own domain anyway,
Which I do.
You can also have that route to this website, which is what I had done here. So if you notice, I'll type in Jesse Rojas realtor. That's my domain that I had purchased. Click on that, it redirects to the KW website.
Got it.
So you can do that too. Okay.
And also my about me didn't transfer. I just checked it. Still.
We gotta finish the rest of the steps. Once we finish this Kelly guide,
Okay.
check it.
Okay.
Okay.
You have to finish the Kelly guide first before you can go get customized.
Yes.
Okay, that's where I'm going wrong.
Finish the
Okay.
Kelly guide. Like get through all the steps.
Oh.
Even if you don't want to edit any of the other things, just keep clicking through.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So here you can change those pictures. I'm gonna go back to I'm gonna start closing these guys because we don't need these anymore. Let me show you something here. So I'm gonna go back to consumer here. Site and app settings and general. So after we complete the Kelly guide, you can change the photos. So these are the exact same photos that everyone has, and they're exactly what you'll find in the Cali guide as well. Right. So they're nice photos. They just look a lot more like Texas than they do Tucson.
Yep.
So switch them out. If you have your own photos or you have an awesome friend that likes to take some landscape photos or other architecture photos, get in contact with them, give them some credit for, giving you some awesome local photos instead. And that's just about all you can change in the style and theme section, other than the text, right? So the home of your dreams is just a click away. That's what I had typed in there. You can put something fancier than that in your page. Okay, let's go ahead and save and continue. Now this next section, you can see that I didn't really fill it out, and I left it this way so you can see that it's not necessary to fill it out to be able to complete everything. Okay, navigation, this just changes the order of how the website pages look or how they'll appear on the drop down. Content, this is where you can start editing everything, add your own photos, headline, title, everything like that if you want to use this page. Okay, and we'll go ahead and continue on. Now you're at the About Me section. You're just going to verify that it is exactly what you want it to say under the content section, right? So make sure that that part fills out there.
There's your bio as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
It pulls right from the marketing profile.
Okay.
Right. So that should be good there. You got that done. You can hit continue. I don't want to just spend too much time on this part. Now, when it comes to the contact us portion, really it's just an interest page, right? Just for getting people's contact information and what exactly they're looking for to get in contact with you with. SEO description, you can start building that out. If you're familiar with search engine optimization, you can start throwing keywords. Who remembers AOL and the AOL keyword, right? It's that kind of thing. I know, me too.
I aged myself.
As soon as I said AOL, I started hearing the modem sound in my head. So that's what this is essentially doing. So it's a long-term thing. As you continue to use it and market it, the search engine optimization will start seeing people use your keywords and stuff like that, and then you'll keep going.
Is there a limit on how many keywords we can put in there?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Real quick question on the bottom of every one of my page, since our name is John, our team name is John and Tracy Smith, and we use that for all of our marketing. It is actually put in there for some reason. It shows up twice. It duplicated itself.
So is it looking like this, like it's stacked on top of each other? Like
yes.
This? Yeah, you would have to only put it in once. So actually the individual name would be fine, right? So if your website's there, it's great. Or if it's Tracy's name that's there, it's great. Just use one or the other. And then because it'll always have the team name attached to it.
So so where do I find that? In settings?
So it's going to be back here in your marketing profile. So if you put it in rather than first and last name and you put in your team name there instead, that's how you're seeing that duplicate stack.
So I probably put in first name John and Tracy, last name Smith, and then I probably put John and Tracy Smith.
Potentially.
Yes. Yeah. So in other words, it was my fault.
Double check that. So double check that, because if you see right here, it does show the team name.
Okay. That's probably what I did. Okay. Thank you. That's a quick fix. Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So after we're done with this, just move on to the next one. I mean, you can change some things if you want to, but that's all optional. And then once we complete this section, we're essentially done, right? So that concludes the initial setup of your website. So if you navigate now to your subdomain, to your website, it should be branded to you. And if it isn't right away, give it at least 24 hours just to be safe. And you should start seeing your branding show up.
Okay. So there is no publish button. It just automatically does it.
It just does it.
Okay. So it's real time. The other quick question is, so say now, okay, we have this set up. It looks like a generic site and I decide now that I really want to gear up my images and stuff. How do I go back in and edit again?
Yeah. So that's what this section is for on the consumer side, on the site and app settings.
Got it.
Okay. So if you want to change out those photos, you can. This is where you can trash them and upload new ones. You are limited to 5, and do be certain to follow the recommended size for this section. That way it looks good. And you want to have high resolution photos anyway. The higher the better, because everybody's displays are different, whether it's looking on a phone or looking on a 43-inch 4K monitor like I have. You want it to display properly. Okay, so just make sure to do that. URLs, this section right here shows you again what your subdomain or your web address is for your website. So it includes your subdomain.kw.com. And this right here is the app URL. Okay, so this is actually another landing page. So all I did was click copy. I'm going to open up another tab, paste in that link so you can see KW Realty Inc. has created this landing page for us to promote our app on. Now the app and the website are linked together. So if someone downloads your app and signs up on the app, that account information that they create, the username and password, is usable on the website as well. And any activity that you see on the app will be shown in the website and will show up in Command as part of their activity log as well.
That was my next question. Does it integrate with Command immediately and make them a contact?
Absolutely, it does.
Great.
And if they already exist as a contact within Command and they sign up, it'll change it. It'll change the way they're shown within Command. Let me show you what I mean by that.
Shauna, right? That's your name. Did I get that right?
Shoshana.
Shoshan. I have a tendency to talk a lot, so if I need to shut up, just tell me.
Okay. You're fine.
In order for you to learn. Okay.
No, you ask away. It's fine.
Okay, so this is like the basic contact area. So you'll see a little green check mark by the name. It doesn't show up on mine for whatever reason, but it's there. I'm hooked up. The little green check mark denotes that this person is signed up on your website as well. Okay, so actually, let me log into my website. Should be able to. Hopefully I remember the password. I did. Okay, so I recommend you create an account for yourself as well and just poke around. That way, when your clients are using it and they come up with questions, you have the answers for them. So you'll see that it'll show my history, what I've looked at in the past a little bit. Gives me my account information, what I'm looking to do. I can change my password here and everything like that. The places portion is actually pretty cool. When you're sending out your app to your clients, you can tell them, hey, go ahead and register the parts of town or places in town that are important to you or that you frequent. And the reason for that is it will show how much drive time it takes to get there from where that house is. So if it's a 10-minute drive or 15, 30, you get the idea. It'll say that on the website from that home address that they're looking at to that destination. It's actually really a nice feature. Within the website itself, you can search for pretty much anything. It even does landmarks. So what I mean by that is I'm going to type in Reed Park. Right. So you'll notice that it went right to that landmark area. So here's Reed Park right there. Took us right there. Now it's showing us homes that are around that area. So you can search by landmark. It's pretty cool. Type in the University of Arizona. Now it takes us to the U of A. All we got to do is just zoom it out a little bit, and then we start seeing the homes that are available.
How far out does it go? Is it within a mile of that landmark or any specific?
It'll fill in whatever space is in this area here. So as far as you zoom out is as far as it will show properties.
Okay.
It's actually a really cool feature.
No, it is a good feature.
And if you want to stay specific to a certain area, there is a draw option, right? So if I come in here and I actually like this neighborhood, Let me click on my draw feature again. I want to draw a line here. I want to stay in this little area. And whatever homes are in this area will be shown here.
Okay.
Right. So I found the 2 that were in there, and that's what we see on the site. Cool little option, kind of like what we have in the Flex MLS. You can just plot your area. Pretty fun. Other things with the app, you can add a co-buyer, right? So if I come in here and looks like my wife hasn't accepted my co-buyer invite, but you can invite whoever you want. You know, if it's your wife, or if it's your any other partner, business partner, whatever friend you want to just like buy a home with or a property with, you can add them to this, and you guys can have a conversation about the property through the app. Hey, what do you think about this property? Oh, it's this and that, this and that. And then you as the agent can also contribute to that, which is kind of cool. Okay, so that's a cool little feature of the website.
So when I add a page, Jesse, does it automatically include it on my navigation?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, it really does. So if you create it, it'll immediately publish it. So, like, say for example, I like using the My Home Keeper concierge, moving concierge site that they have available, and it's branded to me. So, yeah, this doesn't just happen. You can create it, and it'll appear instantaneously. Pretty cool. Yeah. So, what other questions aside from a bio not appearing and things like that do you have about the website?
That's it for me.
Okay. So when you first, I've been sitting here for 2 days frustrated, Jesse, so bear with me, okay?
Oh, gotcha. No
So
problem.
when you first go to create the site, it gives you 3 options. One, to use a KW site, one to use another version, a place setter site, I think.
Oh, yeah. When you first start, it says Playster and stuff like that.
And then a third option of, hey, I want to look at other options. And then it takes you to the marketplace.
Mhm.
Now, are those KW affiliates? Or are they just, how trustworthy?
Yeah. So Playster was actually, so a little history. Playster was actually the sole provider of websites, aside from Market Leader, for KW agents. However, that free deal with between KW and Playster has since been nixed because we have the KW command websites running now. Basically, what it's saying is like you have your option. You can use the provided website and build upon that through command, or you can go through Playster. The thing with Playster is that it doesn't talk with command or the other options. They don't really talk either. There are ways to kind of force it to talk, like through things like PieSync or Zapier. However, that gets a little clunky and a little bit too technical for a lot of users. So generally, just using the website that's provided with command and the app being attached to it is the best way for people to sign up for your website, start looking at properties, and for you to capture their information and track your logs for them.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you go through that site setup, usually it's just my KW site is the one that should be chosen.
Okay, I think I've been overthinking it, thinking that the site had more capability than I think it does, and it's not just a drag and drop site. Have you seen those before?
Yeah.
So, and there's things that are not changeable that just may not be changeable.
Yeah, there are some things that are hard coded, like for example, where the logos appear, where your footer appears, and the information that's found within them. Those are all kind of hard coding. And the reason for the simplicity of the website is because there have been a lot of focus around just keeping things simple. Some really clunky websites, people just lose interest. And like say for the front page, right? So let's just get down to it. Let's just start searching, right? You can go on Zillow or similar websites. They're pretty much going to be the same,
Right.
right? Just like start throwing in addresses. uh, or areas, realtor.com. Same thing, just jump right into it. And that's just to keep it clean. Most people are used to using Zillow or the other websites, and it makes it really easy to translate what to do. Um, there it's there's a lot of advantage to it, and it just simplifies the process for our consumers.
So the logos are in place to where we need to be compliant, right? So we don't need to stress about adding more logos.
No, you don't. So we got the logo right up top, as you see there, and right at the bottom as well. And it's really itty bitty, but there's the MLS and equal opportunity symbol right there. I don't know why it's so tiny, but it's there. Not only that, it is written out.
Right. On a different video, I read that that you couldn't, once you uploaded a team logo, that you could not change it.
Right. Well, you can change it. You can't delete it.
Can't delete it. Okay.
Yeah, you can change it.
All right.
One thing that people have done is just to eliminate it, is just to add a blank PNG to it, a little transparent file just to delete it. And I use that very loosely.
So Jesse, just so you know, I'm the new managing broker over here. And so that's why I'm asking all these thousands of questions, because I think we're trying to encourage people to use the site.
Mhm.
And I need to have some answers.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
a great questions.
Cool.
So, and that's one thing. So you see my team logo up there, and it also shows right here. So it's there.
Okay, cool.
Mhm. So yeah, this makes us in compliance. I mean, it's even overly compliant. I mean, we're not required to show license number here, or for us or the brokerage in Arizona, but KW has just said, you know what, other places need it, just add it, and it's up to the agents to choose whether to add the license number or not. California, need it. Texas, you need it. That's why it's not a required thing in our marketing profile. It's not denoted with one of these little asterisks as being required. Yeah. What other questions you got?
At this point, I think I need to just take a step back, go through, kind of grow. And I think part of the problem might have been is that I jumped the gun a little bit and started doing some of this work before being onboarded, and then it never stuck. Okay.
Gotcha.
So that might be part of my own frustration, and I'll be the first to admit it. But am I okay to email you if I have a question?
Yeah, absolutely. Feel free.
Because I'll have some. My goal is to try to get like, where does the testimonials go? Once I made a testimonial sheet page, and then I had a client put in a testimonial for me, and then I didn't get notified. I don't know where it goes.
Gotcha. So the notifications up here in this section here, command, if it's there. Now, you published it. So two things. So there's a testimonial like capture page, and then there's like the testimonial carousel, right?
Right.
So both of those would need to be built in order for them to work.
Okay. And there you do have to publish, right?
Yes.
It's not an automatic.
No.
Okay. And then it will automatically be once I publish it, it'll be automatically added to the site.
Mm-hmm. Okay. If those two things are in place, like the testimonial capture and your carousel, they should be there.
Okay. So I'm looking for the testimonial carousel.
Yeah. So let's look at that real quick.
Thank you. The thought is that I'm coming in looking at this as a new agent would look at it, and we're trying to see what the hiccup is.
Well, you are a new agent, so yeah, let's do it.
Exactly.
Okay, so here's the capture form.
Yep, I got that already.
Okay, so got that. That's good. So that's really easy. How's your rate? Stuff like that. Now the other portion. That didn't take me where I wanted to go, but that's okay. I'm going to click here, create a new site on my agent site,
Okay.
create page. Actually, it's not there anymore.
Well, that makes me feel a little better.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a testimonial character that used to be like right next to it.
Okay.
They may be working on it, maybe revamping it.
Okay.
Um,
Because I know a lot of agents, at least within this office, are going through an outside source to capture their testimonials.
uh,
So,
and you can do it. You can do it either way. If it's an outside thing and you capture a testimonial, that's fine. You can still add that to your website. Like say it's Google, for example, it's a Google testimonial. You can take the page itself and you can add it as an iframe to your website. And the
So-
iframe,
do we want to go over that next time, or do we want to try to show me what that is now? It's your call.
we got a little bit of time. Let's
Okay.
try it.
Appreciate it.
Let's see. So I'm in Google. I'm going to go to like my business, for example. I don't think I have anything here, but we'll try it. Show me my. Right, so here's how our profile would look.
Yep.
Okay, and then reviews would be here.
Right. That's all right.
So we would just basically on our back end find our reviews. Yeah, so it'll be, so you share your review right here
Okay.
from the Google portion, if that's what they're using. And then there's a way to see it. You can add it from your profile. There's a way to see it just specifically the review section. Obviously, I haven't built it out because I haven't received any reviews.
Okay.
But there's a way to do that. And then there's a code.
So am I trying to get am I getting a URL, or am I getting the code to transfer over to put it in like a widget?
So the code is separate, but you would need both.
Okay.
You would need the two. Trying to see where I left it. So I created a code that helps with that. Where did I put it? I went crazy. I started building all kinds of little additional site pages and I was done. So I kind of forgot where I put it.
No, I got you.
Uh,
I love your listing pages. That's a great idea.
the which one?
When you had your you created a page specifically for the listing.
Oh yeah, the little landing page. It's a
Yeah. And did you tie those into your site, or did you let them be a freestanding site?
I let them be freestanding.
Okay.
I let them be freestanding, and if so, the reason behind that,
Are you able to see traffic off of that?
you can set it up so you can see traffic. I haven't done that. What I mainly have it there for is to push people towards downloading my app.
Got it.
Here,
Plus, it's a great part of your marketing plan.
let me show you what I mean here. So that one property specific,
Yep.
right? So it's the only thing they can do on this page is see things on this for this property. The other things that they can do is just click right in here and ask me a question, or click download my app. So the verbiage that exists by default is get free access to local homes from any mobile device to kind of incentivize people. So they see the one property. Well, I want to see more. How do I see more? Oh, I got to download this app to see some more. Click on that.
So where it says download, so there's some verbiage, I think, on the main page that says interested or something like that. Do you remember that verbiage? Is that change? Yeah. Is that changeable?
Yeah, you can change that
Okay. And you do it within the widget?
within the widget. Yes.
Great. See, you can teach me.
I had no doubt of that. So yeah, you can change the verbiage. You can't change the format. You can't change what it's asking for.
All
That
right.
and each of these fields is required. So if there's a question, some people use these landing pages. I do it myself. Use these as my open house sign-in sheets.
Yep.
Rather than me having them write something down that I can't read at all. I'll just ask them like, oh, just because of the state of the nation and the whole COVID thing, we want to make sure everyone's safe. So please sign in for me.
Yep.
And then if they have any feedback, then I'll just enter in the feedback.
Are you using a tablet?
Using a tablet.
Great.
Some people would like to use their phones, whatever works for them, or they like using their laptop. Either will work. They'll all do the same thing.
Got it.
And the CAPTCHA, again, this is.
Oh, we lost you.